Tippy time, my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. The Prophecy Dungeon is getting some new life breathed back into it. With a shake up in the loot pool, there are 3 returning weapons and a new origin trait and some elemental change-ups. For those who are new to the dungeon, I'll be doing a breakdown of encounters along with the secret chests and locations. There's only one real mechanic to learn, it's Gambit. Pick up the motes and power up with them. You need both white motes and dark motes. You need 5 to bank, so just kill 2 knights, they drop 3 apiece. In this first section here you need dark and white. The second thing we need to know, to make the dark motes you need to stand in the shade. To make the white motes, when killing you need to stand in the light. You can tell by this little white cooties glow on the bottom of the screen. Same here with that dark. It'll be the same in the second section, but it's actually easier to grab the darks in this room and take them into the second section. The origin trait should be nuts. Crossing over gives us increased range and handling for the top half of our magazine, and the rounds on the bottom half deal increased damage. So this should offer us something great for both primary weapons and special weapons. This first encounter plays the same, needing 10 dark motes for the 2 dark platforms and 10 white for the 2 white platforms. I would recommend solar and arc dampness on your chest piece, but the boss is a bit of a lightweight, so you can really use whatever heavy and super you like. It takes about 90 seconds to clear, so you'll be able to farm this easily, which is good, as it has 2 returning weapons. The Relentless should be good, but I'm sure sharing the same spot as the Messenger, it'll be a tough sell. But it will be Strand now. We've got different times and 3 and 4 burst 450s, and the Relentless should fit nicely in the middle there. The Prosecutor is a 450 Arc AR. These are fairly popular in both PvP and PvE at the moment, so if you don't have a good shadow price or number, come melt this boss. Because of power creep, he'll pretty much just die to your supers alone. But if doing it solo, it might take longer than 15 seconds to melt him. Gobos come out, immunity shield him, just piss those guys off, get back to damage. Even solo, it's a pretty easy one phase. The enemies despawn once you bank the final motes, so let your team know so they can prepare their surges and buffs for when the immunity shield drops. We pick up our loot and head down the purple poop chute, jump on your sparrow, and we're just going to swing around to the left hand side here. There's a turn back zone if you do go too far, and we're going to go pick up that first secret chest. It's in a little hobbit hole here. This hole obviously doesn't have a toilet because some guy's just been pissing all over the snow here, and that's normally how I find this place. This wasteland encounter is a bit of a non-encounter. There'll be 3 separate blights out there, destroy them. Then you walk into the middle of them, trigger the Tolan Spark. He moves fast, but he'll lead you to the next 3. Rinse and repeat twice more. Then on the perimeter of the map there will be a staircase to a doorway. If the door isn't open, you're at the wrong one, so just head right. We enter through the heaven and hell to the cube room. In this cube there are 6 circles. There's 1 on the floor, 4 on the walls, and 1 on the ceiling. Once we start the encounter, the Tolan Spark will go to one of these. This will indicate which side we need to bank on and what colour we need to bank in it. We nick 2 knights off, dunk on the indicated platform, then we head to the middle, rinse and repeat. If Toland is on the ceiling, that means you need to cleanse a side that does not have a symbol on the cube. Because the shadows vary on the rotation of the rooms, they can be both near or far. So for me, I like using the Xenophage for dropping those knights. And your main threat in this encounter will also be those hobos shooting down at you. This encounter now drops the sudden death shotgun. I've always been a fan. It's great in the Crucible. It was Arc and is now going to be Void. The Adjudicator is also back. This one is kinetic. Being a 600, I wouldn't imagine this to be hugely popular. It's probably the least loved archetype in the submachine gun family. Every family has one, there's always that black sheep. 600s are that. It's better than both the Forensic and the Roulette. It's similar to the Antiope with slightly better stability. It's all going to come down to the perk selection. Once you've rinsed and repeated enough times through this cube encounter, you'll meet 2 mini bosses. They'll die within like half a super. They're very low rent bosses, like mall security cops. So just pick up your loot and head back the way you came. We're going to follow the dunes around to the right. We're going to go through this little trippy acid tunnel here and go play some Mario Kart. Have fun, make a race out of it. There's a second secret chest here, so race your way to that. It's in this last little dreidel shaped building here. Once you got the loot, just backtrack across and we're going to head up the gravity lift to the final boss. It's the same mechanics, but it's a triangle room. There's 3 moat dunks required. I like the Witherhood for this encounter as there are limited dark spots in this first room. So I tagged them with the Wither, then scamper my ass over to the dark side of the moon here and just wait for those moats to pop out pinata style. Pick them up, dunk them down. Then the Taken cows, they turn into Taken ogres. He's pretty easy, like 1-2 punch and down. Once we've smited all 3, we meet up in the center of the room to go into the final boss fight, which is in a separate room. Before you enter, just take a beat. We want to make sure that we got our surges stacked up nice and high, as there is a little bit of delay before we go down the suction tunnel to the boss. He's got about 7 million health, so it should be easy enough one phase. This drops the Judgment hand cannon and the Darkest Before pulse rifle. The Judgment was kinetic, but it will now be stasis, which is quite good because it really couldn't compete with things like the Fatebringer or spare rations. Only competition now will be the Grasp of Avarice Isoluna. The Judgment stats are quite inferior to the Lunas though. Here's hoping that that crossing over origin trait pulls this up to the Luna's standards, otherwise I'm not really sure this is worth the grind. The Darkest Before, however, will be nuts. It's already the 3rd best rapid fire pulse rifle prior to the update, and with this origin trait, it's going to be amazeballs. Best of luck to the farming guys. Personally, I'll be chasing both the Relentless and the Darkest Before. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that thumbs if you dug it, sub if you're new, and until next time, tippy time, my damies, what a tie.